Hello and welcome to today's Daily Downbeat. Today's song is For Whom the Bell Tolls from Metallica's 1984 album Ride the Lightning. Killer track. Love this song so much. It's just a rockin' song. But when we think about the lyrics behind this, it really kind of stems from Ernest Hemingway's novel For Whom the Bell Tolls. And there's also a 17th century English poet and clergyman by the name of John Donne, and he wrote a sermon about For Whom the Bell Tolls. And basically the premise behind it was when a person dies, it is a loss to all of us because we are all part of mankind together. And I'll read this quote from him real quick. Any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sin to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. And there's also this connotation involved in there that we're all going to die at some point, and it's just a reminder of that. You know, life is not forever. So I'm going to read some of the lyrics real quick from Metallica's song, and then we'll kind of go from there and talk a little bit about Hemingway and some verses involved here too. Make his fight on the hill in the early day, constant chill deep inside. Shouting gun on the run through the endless gray. On they fight for their right, yes, but who's to say? For a hill men would kill, why, they do not know. Stiffened wounds test their pride. Men of five still alive through the raging glow, gone insane from the pain that they surely know. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. For whom the bell tolls. Take a look to the sky just before you die. It's the last time you will. Blackened roar, massive roar fills the crumbling sky. Shattered goal fill his soul with a ruthless cry. Stranger now are his eyes to this mystery. Here's the silence so loud. Crack of dawn, all is gone except the will to be. Now they see what will be, blinded eyes to see. And those are some pretty deep lyrics. Pretty deep lyrics. Looking at Hemmingway's take on For Whom the Bell Tolls, we see him talking about the Spanish Civil War, which was fought from 1936 to 1939. His book, For Whom the Bell Tolls, was published in 1940, right after that took place. And he used the title For Whom the Bell Tolls off of John Donne's sermon and really pulled that into his book narrative. So Hemingway's story is really about Robert Jordan, who is a dynamiter that is tasked with blowing up a bridge in Segovia, which is a Spanish city. And so it tells that tale, and it really talks about how these dudes are blowing each other up, and they don't really even know why they're doing it. You know, it's just that art of war sort of deal, and knowing that when we kill each other and when a life is taken, it affects us all. So when Metallica wrote this song, they were specifically looking at chapter 27 in Hemingway's book that talks about 5 soldiers that were obliterated during an airstrike. And that's really kind of where that comes from. And so we're going to look at Solomon's words in Ecclesiastes 9, 5 through 6. And it reads like this. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no further reward, and even their name is forgotten. Their love, their hate, and their jealousy have long since vanished. Never again will they have a part in anything that happens under the sun. So I'm in the Life Application Bible. I'm going to go ahead and read what it has to say there because I think it's pretty important that we look at that. When Solomon says the dead know nothing and that there is no work, planning, knowledge, or wisdom in death, he is not contrasting life with everlasting life, but life with death. After you die, you can't change what you have done. Resurrection to a new life after death was a vague concept for Old Testament believers. It was only made clear after Jesus rose from the dead. So looking at it from that perspective, we see that death was really kind of a finite and it's done sort of deal. And this isn't just to be all doomy and gloomy and all worried about death or anything of that nature, but it's one of those things where it's like, again, and I don't know why it keeps coming back to this, but again, it's what's going on in the here and now. What is going on today? And, you know, I wish I could say that I understand why we keep coming back to this topic, but for whatever reason, it seems to be pretty important right now. And I think we're living in a pretty historical moment in history where, you know, there's just so much going on. You know, first and it could be that it's just, modern day history for us, because there's, pandemic, civil unrest, it just sort of seems like the world is caving in at this moment. And I'm sure there's been other generations that have gone through the same thing before. This is probably nothing new to humanity. It may just be new to us living in this time frame. We've never seen this much vitriol, so to speak. Um, and so I think what we really just need to keep in mind is that all life around us is precious. And I think, and I think John Donne does a really good job in his sermon of pointing that out, and in his writings, that when another person dies, I feel the effects just as much as anyone else. When a man or woman dies and goes on, a part of the human race has gone off. But the cool thing about that is we are surviving, every day, and there is new life coming forward just as much as there is the old going away. So, a little bit of a morbid message today. Sorry about that. But hopefully you'll take a little bit away from that and really think about how interconnected we are in life. And when that bell tolls for one of our brothers or sisters, it affects us all. And, of course, anytime you go into Ecclesiastes, you're looking at some pretty heavy stuff. But why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button, like, comment. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get that conversation going. And For Whom the Bell Tolls, Metallica. Great song, and it's got this historical nature to it that's pretty cool. Check it out, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Enjoy your Monday, and we'll catch you tomorrow.